Quick question for you. When was the last time your vehicle stressed you out more than it helped you?
It's like an oil leak.
And what if I told you that selling it could actually move your life forward faster? I sold my truck, I'm not replacing it. And that decision is saving us money, time, and mental energy every single month.
What?
If you're tired of car payments, fuel costs, repairs, and that constant feeling of being locked in, this video is for you.
Where are you? I'm in a glass case of emotion!
Here's the part most people don't expect. Getting rid of my truck didn't make life harder. It made it simpler. We went from 2 vehicles to 1, and instead of chaos, we found clarity. Most people think owning your own vehicle equals freedom. But what if the opposite is true for you right now? Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll see why fewer vehicles might actually mean more freedom, more margin, and more control. If you've ever felt trapped by a car payment, stressed about repairs, or frustrated that your money disappears before you even touch it, you're not alone. I've been there, and for years, I thought that stress was just normal adult life. But my wife works from home. So we sat down, we ran the numbers, and we realized something had to change. Here's the simple plan I'm going to walk you through today. First, why we decided to sell the truck and go down to 1 vehicle. Second, why car payments are one of the biggest financial traps keeping you stuck. Third, the psychology behind owning your own vehicle and why it feels so hard to let go. And finally, why our 2022 Toyota Sienna makes more sense in real life than my old 2002 GMC Sierra 2500 ever did. If you stay with me, you'll walk away with a clearer way to think about vehicles, money, and freedom in your own life. Section 1, why I sold the truck. Let me tell you the moment this really clicked for us. Last fall, my wife landed a new job. She works from home full-time doing insurance billing for a rehabilitation company. Once she settled into the job, we realized that keeping 2 vehicles no longer made sense for us. This means that 1 vehicle was sitting still most of the week. That truck wasn't serving us anymore. It was just sitting there costing us money. Sure, it was paid for and insurance was dirt cheap. However, it seemed foolish to pay insurance, maintenance, registration, fuel, all for something that we barely used. If you have a second vehicle that mostly sits, I want you to really hear this part. Every unused vehicle is quietly draining your future goals. We didn't sell the truck because we were desperate. We sold it because we were intentional. And that difference matters for you too. Section 2, why car payments are a trap. Your monthly car payment might be bigger than you realize. The average new vehicle in the United States now costs around $48,000 to over $50,000 just to buy. And prices for full-size pickup trucks average around $64,000 to $65,000. That's a huge amount of money sitting in metal and rubber. And the average monthly payment on those financed vehicles, it's up near $748 to $772 every single month. Think about that. You work all month, you get paid, and almost $800 are already spoken for before you even buy groceries, pay insurance, handle repairs, or put gas in the tank. Car payments feel normal because everyone's doing it, but normal doesn't mean smart. A car payment locks you into a long-term financial obligation that eats into your freedom. And the worst part, most vehicles you finance are losing value, sometimes hundreds or thousands of dollars a year, the moment you drive them off the lot. So you're paying all that money for something that's going down in value, and you're tied to that payment for years. If you feel like you can't get ahead no matter how hard you work, this is often why. Your money is servicing a loan instead of building your goals. I've been there. I've had large car payments, and at one point, my wife and I were financing 2 vehicles. It was madness. Once the payment disappears, your breathing room comes back. That breathing room is where real progress starts. Section 3, the psychology of owning your own vehicle. Here's where it gets uncomfortable, but important. Owning your own vehicle feels tied to independence, identity, and success, especially trucks. I bought a 3/4 ton pickup to tow a camper that my wife and I purchased back when my kids were young. We had the camper for about 6 years and decided to hold on to the truck after we sold the camper because it was paid off. In hindsight, I probably should have sold it then and got into something smaller and more practical. However, a truck feels like capability, like strength and self-reliance. Letting go can feel like giving something up about yourself. But ask yourself this honestly: is your vehicle serving your life, or is your life serving the vehicle? Once I separated my identity from what I drove, the decision became easier. You are not your vehicle. Your worth isn't parked in the driveway. In fact, I only think about my vehicle when I'm actually driving it. Does it really make sense to sink a lot of money into something that you rarely enjoy? When you let go of that mental attachment, everything else opens up. Section 4, Sienna versus Sierra. Let's talk practical reality, not emotion. My old truck was a 2002 GMC Sierra 2500 HD crew cab. Big, heavy, powerful, and expensive to operate. Our current vehicle is a 2022 Toyota Sienna. The Sienna gets dramatically better fuel economy. 35 miles per gallon for an all-wheel drive vehicle with seating for up to 8 people just seems incredible to me. I measured the fuel economy on my truck once on a trip towing the camper, 7.9 miles per gallon. Yikes. The van is quieter, smoother, safer, and more comfortable. It carries people, groceries, projects, and road trips with ease. Maintenance is lower and reliability is higher. For real life, school runs, work errands, and family trips, the Sienna wins almost every day. This last weekend was a great example of how the van outperforms the truck. I had band practice with some guys I've been playing classic rock with, and it was 0 degrees out Fahrenheit when I had to bring my upright bass. With my truck, it would have had to experience the extreme cold temperatures in the bed of the truck. With the van, the bass stayed nice and toasty inside with me. If this is already making you rethink vehicles and money, help me grow this channel. Comment below. Have you been able to escape the car payment trap? I'm sure this community could benefit from your advice. Section 5, making one vehicle work. Going down to one vehicle isn't about sacrifice. It's about coordination, planning errands, communicating schedules, using technology when needed. It's a small adjustment for a big payoff. There have been some inconveniences along the way, but it's totally worth it. And the payoff is less stress, more money, and more focus. You stop managing stuff and start managing progress. Remember that freedom that I mentioned at the beginning? This is what it looks like. No second insurance bill, no extra repairs, no payment draining your momentum. Just intentional choices that support the life that you want to build. Today, I showed you why I sold my truck and didn't replace it. We talked about how car payments quietly trap you. We broke down the psychology of owning your own vehicle. And we compared real-world practicality between a 2022 Toyota Sienna and a 2002 GMC Sierra 2500 HD. Are you working harder than ever, yet still feeling like you're barely keeping your head above water financially? Watch the next video on my channel, because the exact numbers you're about to hear explain why personal finance feels so hard and how you can escape it. My name is Stephen Kofer. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next one.